Hey everyone, welcome to my video. I'm making this video so I can share with you guys some of the tips that I use, kind of getting re-motivated back into life, back into fitness. With all this stuff going on, we're all kind of a little bit stressed out. So I'm hoping that some of these tips will bring some light to the end of the tunnel for you guys. And I'm here for you, so keep watching. As if it wasn't hard enough and stressful enough in our daily lives trying to manage family, demanding jobs, being fit, the world has to go and up and change dramatically. I mean, obviously in the big picture, there's a lot of things to contemplate, but what about the smaller picture about moms at home with their kids and works changing and gyms being closed and all that stuff? What about the psychological stress that kind of comes into that and as we face each new day? How do we get through those barriers? So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I do to get through those barriers, and I use these tips every single day. Every day is a work in progress for me too, so hopefully you enjoy these. Okay guys, tip number one, big tip number one, give yourself a break. You're not in this alone. Everybody's struggling. It's okay if you eat a little extra. It's okay if you're frustrated because you're homeschooling, you're not sure what to do. It's okay when the internet goes down and you can't do what you need to do. Give yourself a break. It's hard enough to do what we're doing now, but adding negative thoughts to it is not going to help you. And I love my husband. He is really good about reminding me of that when I'm beating myself up. He always says, hey, you gotta be nice to yourself and don't be so hard on yourself. We're all going through things. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, this I've had to redo several times. Schedule a new routine, guys. So one thing for me, it got thrown off. I was, in the gym in the morning, this, that, another, and it was flawless. Well, when you throw something like, COVID or a pandemic into it, what happens? You kind of lose place of every day. So what I did for myself is I rewrote my schedule. I wrote it down, I put it in the calendar. Now I had to rewrite it every so often because some things just weren't working. Sometimes I can't get to I can't go to the gym and work out, even in my own gym in my house. I have to switch up my routines. So just know that everything's adaptable, but definitely think about your routine and try to make a new one and follow it, okay? Tip number three. So tip number three, enhance your knowledge. So I am a learner. I love to learn new things. So with everything that happened, I was like, oh man, what can I do to be more valuable in this economy? And frankly, I have a little more time. So I wanted to add a little bit more to my schedule that would be beneficial. And what's more beneficial than learning something new and something that's valuable? So I actually applied to Udacity, which is where they have nano degrees, and I'm doing the digital marketing side of it. Best thing about that is that it's relatively inexpensive. It's on your own time and it's fast. So you get great knowledge without having to go to school for long periods of time. So that's going to actually be great because I'm going to add that to the company that I'm working with now. They need that help in social marketing and digital marketing. But honestly, in the long run, this economy is going to need that type of thing. So it was great to add that. So I recommend doing something like that. Now, if you're like, nah, I don't want to add any more schooling, read a book that's good for you, something that's gonna help enhance you, or learn crocheting. Maybe it's a new hobby. Learn something. It will make you feel better that you're doing something, okay? So definitely enhance your knowledge in some aspect, okay? Another thing is get a coach. I love my team. I am with Team Flex. We have, hundreds and thousands of people on the team, but I am able to reach out to, a few personal ones and get some feedback, get some understanding. They're helping me push through my fitness goals and understanding of what I should do, so if you're struggling in that aspect with eating and fitness and all that kind of stuff, get a coach, get a pro coach, get a life coach, get somebody that can help you if you're really feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm struggling. There's nothing, better or worth more the money when you are talking to somebody who's a pro. And if you don't want to do a pro coach, get somebody who can support you. your husband, your best friend. Talk to somebody. The important thing is to reach out into the world and get those conversations. You know, whether it's a Facebook group with some similar, hobbies that you have, or, whatever it is, blogging, tips like you're doing now, looking at this YouTube video, reach out into the world and get some support and get some feedback from people. So that is tip number 4 for you guys. Very important. Tip number 5, guys. This is one of my favorites of all my tips, is to meditate. The mind is the most powerful thing we have. If our mind's thinking negative, everything's going to be negative. If our mind's positive, everything's going to be positive. So take care of your mind just as much as you would take care of your body if you're, doing fitness stuff. I do meditation and hypnosis. So I use a couple apps. I'm gonna put those in the comments below, or link below, so you guys can check those out if you haven't already. I use Relax Melodies. This has great sounds, like waterfalls and birds and all that kind of stuff. I use this every night for the last, 4 years I've used it every night to help me fall asleep. It also does have some great meditations and some stories, even kid stories. My daughter likes to use it sometimes. And then they also have stretch yoga on there as well. So, and it's, it's free. So you can get the free version of it and still, have a lot of use for it. So I recommend that one. Another one that's absolutely changed my life, and like since this whole COVID thing has happened, is an app called Harmony, and it's a hypnosis app. So that has absolutely changed my mental state. I was struggling even using these tips that I'm giving you now. I still had to, push every single day, every single time. But once I started, doing some subconscious healing, I have been able to get past a lot of things. So Harmony is a great app. This one you do have to pay for if you want to get all the things. It has weight loss in it. It has positivity. It has sports stuff, so you can get better at your sports. So all that's in there. So I recommend those two very much. Well, that's all I have for you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you got anything from this video, please like and subscribe. Share with your friends if you think it'll help them. Also leave some comments below. I'd like to hear some feedback on what you think of my tips, as well as any tips that you have. I'll take all the tips I can get on how to get through these trying times. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next video.